A stormy evening swept over the wide plains of Texas when a weary young woman trudged along the muddy path, her clothes torn and her face carrying the weight of 100 unspoken sorrows. Her name was Clara, an outcast in her own town, shunned for reasons whispered in gossip, her family's debts, her lack of fortune, and her refusal to bend to cruel suitors. Alone, hungry, and without a place to rest her head, she had nearly given up hope when the light of a lantern flickered in the distance. She followed it, her trembling hands clutching her shawl, until she reached the large wooden porch of a ranch house. There, leaning against the doorway with quiet strength, stood a man whose broad shoulders and weathered face told of years of labor and loss. His name was Matthew, a widowed cowboy, father to 2 little girls who clung to his side, their eyes wide with curiosity at the stranger who appeared out of the storm. Clara had not expected kindness, but Matthew's gaze was steady, neither judging nor prying. He invited her in, offering a bowl of warm stew by the fire. The girls, Lydia and Rose, peeked from behind their father's chair, whispering to each other about the lady who looked like she came from heaven. For the first time in months, Clara felt the warmth of a home, though she knew it was not hers. When she tried to leave at dawn, Matthew stopped her with words that struck her heart. "I need a mother for my girls, and you need shelter. Marry me, not for love today, but for what we might build tomorrow." The blunt honesty of his proposal stunned her. She had dreamt of a family, of belonging, but she was also afraid of rejection, afraid that her past would stain these children's lives. Yet, the days that followed unfolded differently. Clara agreed to stay temporarily, helping around the ranch. She cooked simple meals, mended clothes, and began to braid little Rose's hair each morning. The girls, who had once gone to bed weeping for their late mother, now giggled as Clara tucked them in with whispered stories. Matthew, silent and guarded at first, watched the transformation. He saw how gently Clara wiped away tears, how she worked with blistered hands beside him in the barn, never complaining. Slowly, her presence began to soften the hollowness that grief had carved into their lives. Clara too began to feel the ache in her chest ease whenever she caught Matthew's eyes lingering on her with a quiet gratitude he rarely spoke aloud. Still, the town gossips were cruel. When Matthew brought Clara to church one Sunday, whispers filled the pews. "The outcast girl," they murmured. "How desperate he must be." Clara's cheeks burned, but before she could falter, Lydia slipped her small hand into hers and said, "Don't worry, Mama. We picked you." The word, "Mama," on the little girl's lips broke the last wall around Clara's heart. She realized she no longer wanted to leave. Matthew stood before the congregation then, tall and unyielding, and declared, "She is my wife. She is mother to my daughters. And she is welcome at my side for as long as the Lord allows me breath." His voice silenced every wagging tongue. That night, under the silver glow of the prairie moon, Clara finally admitted the truth to Matthew. She had been cast out for being poor, for daring to turn away the advances of a wealthy man who thought he could buy her hand. She had carried shame that was never hers to bear. Matthew listened quietly, then took her hand, rough and trembling. "You are not broken," he told her. "You were just waiting to be seen by the right eyes." In his steady gaze, Clara found not pity but reverence. In his daughter's laughter, she found the family she had yearned for. And in the walls of that ranch house, once just shelter from the storm, she discovered a home built not of necessity, but of love that had grown, steady and true, like wildflowers in the wide open fields.